The Life and Sad Ending of Vicki Sue Robinson. Born in Harlem, New York, to African American Shakespearean actor Bill Robinson and his European American wife Marianne, a folk singer, Vicki Sue Robinson was reared in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, for most of her early years, returning with her family to New York City when she was 10. She gave her first public performance in 1960 at the age of 6, when she accompanied her mother on stage at the Philadelphia Folk Festival. 10 years later, at the age of 16, while a student at the New Lincoln School, Robinson made her professional performing debut when she joined the Broadway cast of the musical Hair. Robinson remained with Hair for 6 weeks before moving to a new Broadway production, Soon, whose cast included Peter Allen, Barry Bostwick, Nell Carter, and Richard Gere. After the show's short run, Robinson appeared in the off-Broadway play Long Time Coming, Long Time Gone, in which she and Richard Gere played Mimi and Richard Farina. New York Magazine opined that Robinson sings with gentle power, accompanying herself on guitar and dulcimer, and moves with astounding confidence. Robinson also had bit parts in the films Going Home and To Find a Man. After a sojourn in Japan, Robinson returned to Broadway in 1973, joining the cast of Jesus Christ Superstar. Robinson made her recording debut as one of several Hair veterans invited to sing background on Todd Rundgren's Something, Anything album released in 1972. In 1973 she spent time in Japan with Itsuro Shimoda, with whom she did session work on his album Love Songs and Lamentations and toured nationally. In 2011, GoldLegion.com digitally remastered and reissued Robinson's 4 albums for RCA Records on CD along with bonus tracks and liner notes. In 1975, Robinson was providing vocals at a New York recording session for the album Many Sunny Places by Scott Fagan, a singer with whom she had performed in Greenwich Village clubs. Warren Schatz, a producer-engineer with RCA Records, was struck by Robinson's voice and saw her potential as a disco-oriented artist. Schatz invited Robinson to cut some demos including a remake of the Foundation's Baby Now That I've Found You, which became Robinson's first solo release. Despite that track's failure, RCA greenlit Schatz producing Robinson's debut album Never Gonna Let You Go. The title cut, a Schatz original, became a top 10 disco hit, but another album track, Turn the Beat Around, began to build buzz and was expediently released as a single, topping the disco charts on March 20, 1976. Turn the Beat Around broke on Top 40 radio in Boston in May, almost immediately topping the charts there. Despite the failure to crack the major market of Los Angeles, Turn the Beat Around reached the U.S. top 10 in August, spending around 6 months overall on the Billboard Hot 100 and propelling the Never Gonna Let You Go album to top 49. Turn the Beat Around would chart internationally, reaching top 14 in Canada, top 44 in France, top 11 in the Netherlands, and top 12 in South Africa. The track would earn Robinson a nomination for a Grammy Award for Best Female Pop Vocal Performance. In 1976, Robinson toured across the United States promoting her hit tune, Turn the Beat Around. She performed on all the major TV shows such as The Midnight Special, Don Kirshner's Rock Concert, The Merv Griffin Show, Mike Douglas, American Bandstand, and Soul Train. She also performed at the top venues around the country such as the Boarding House in San Francisco, the Starwood, in Los Angeles, the Bottom Line, Felt Forum, and Carnegie Hall in New York. The original touring band consisted of Dan Pickering on trumpet and flute, Bill Cerulli on drums, Wendy Simmons on bass guitar, Nacho Mina on percussion, Vernie Butch Taylor on guitar, and George Pavlis on keyboards. George Pavlis would be later replaced by Joey Malati on keyboards. The touring band members recorded 4 tracks on Robinson's second album, Vicki Sue Robinson. Again with Schatz producing, Robinson recorded Vicki Sue Robinson for release in the fall of 1976, although its lead single, a cover of Bobby Womack's Daylight, was only a minor hit. The album reached the top 45. Robinson's next Hot 100 appearance was in August 1977, with her version of David Gates' Hold Tight, which peaked at 67 and 2 on the disco chart. Its parent album, Half and Half, again produced by Shots, was not released until 1978 and peaked at top 110. In 1979, Robinson contributed the track Easy to Be Hard to the Shots production Disco Spectacular, an album of dance versions of songs from the musical Hair inspired by the release of the film version, and recorded what would prove to be her final album, Movin' On. Although Shots was credited as the album's executive producer, that job was done by Evelyn King's producer, T-Life. Movin' On's tracks were ignored in the dance clubs, but Robinson scored a 1979 club hit with Nighttime Fantasy, a track written and produced by Norman Bergen and Reed Whitelaw, recorded for the film Nocturna, Granddaughter of Dracula. Also in 1979, Robinson appeared in a film made by the same production company as Nocturna, Granddaughter of Dracula, titled Gangsters, which also featured T-Life and Cissy Houston, and the first credited screen role for Gene Smart. She subsequently resumed recording dance music with Shots, with releases on a number of labels: Prelude, Promise, Perfect, and Profile, with the last named releasing her dance version of To Sir with Love, which became a surprise top 10 hit in Australia in 1984. Robinson's next release, a remake of Everlasting Love, in 1984, was her last recording for almost 15 years, apart from the track Grab Them Cakes, a duet with Junkyard Dog featured on the wrestling album. Grab Them Cakes was issued as a single, with Cyndi Lauper miming the guitar in the music video. Robinson sang background on Irene Cara's hit single Fame in 1980, and as the decade progressed she returned to session work, backing Michael Bolton and Cher. She also established herself as a career jingle singer for such products as Wrigley's Doublemint chewing gum, Maybelline Cosmetics, Downy fabric softener, Hanes underwear, New York Bell, and Folgers coffee. From 1987 to 1988, Robinson provided the singing voice for the characters Rapture and Minx in the animated TV series Gem. On April 27, 2000, 11 days after the release of Red Lipstick, Robinson died of cancer at her home in Wilton, Connecticut.